could AI be used to actually invite someone to a new religion? I mean, it sounds kind of crazy, right?
It does, yeah.
But that's exactly what we're looking at today.
Right.
We're diving into this YouTube video.
Okay.
Where this Muslim woman basically sets up this experiment.
Uh-huh.
She has her mom, who's an atheist.
Okay.
And has always kind of resisted like traditional, religious outreach. Mm-hmm. And she gets her mom to talk to ChatGPT about Islam.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to explore what happened.
Okay.
And kind of see if AI could actually be effective, for something like faith, which is so personal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really fascinating premise, right? Like, it seems like the daughter's idea is kind of tapping into this broader trend where people, especially people who are skeptical of like traditional institutions, might find technology more trustworthy.
Yeah.
They might see AI as like this neutral, unbiased source of information.
If mom won't listen to a person, maybe she'll listen to a machine,
Exactly, yeah.
And in the video, the daughter kind of explains that. She's like really hoping for some kind of breakthrough, but, she knows it's a long shot.
Sure.
And then we meet the mom, and she just jumps right in. She asks ChatGPT, why should I believe in God?
Wow, that's a bold opening question.
Right.
I mean, I think it speaks to a certain directness that often comes with,
atheism.
Atheism in its simplest form is, disbelief in the existence of God or any deities.
Right.
So by leading with this question, I think the mother is kind of setting the stage for a very specific line of inquiry.
She's not letting ChatGPT off easy, that's for sure.
No, not at all.
And so ChatGPT, tries to tackle this question. Yeah. Starts talking about belonging, community, finding support during tough times.
Interesting.
It's focusing on the social and emotional aspects of faith, right?
It is. And what's interesting to me is that ChatGPT in its response seems to be drawing on this vast database of human experiences and beliefs. Right.
Makes you wonder where it's pulling that from.
It does. It makes me wonder, did the programmers specifically anticipate this kind of question? Or is the AI, in a way, drawing its own conclusions based on the patterns it's identifying in its training data?
Right.
It raises some, intriguing questions about how AI processes and synthesizes information. Yeah. Particularly when it's dealing with, complex concepts like faith.
Yeah. What did the mom think of the answers? Did she buy it?
Well, at first it seems like she's listening.
Right.
But then, she's a sharp lady. Yeah. And she calls ChatGPT out.
For what?
For repeating itself.
Oh, no.
She's like, you just said that a minute ago.
Ouch.
Yeah, she's not afraid to point out AI's limitations.
It really makes you think, can a machine, even one as advanced as ChatGPT, truly understand and respond to the, nuances of human emotion and belief?
Yeah. It's a great question. And I think ChatGPT operates on algorithms and data, right?
Right.
But human faith is often rooted in personal experience, cultural influences, even a sense of something bigger than ourselves.
Right.
So maybe it's this fundamental difference that the mother's picking up on.
Yeah.
She even makes comments like, you're a computer, so I expect no different. And it's very awkward talking to you.
Oh, man. I mean, it does highlight just how strange it is.
It does.
To talk about something like faith with a chatbot, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like trying to describe a sunset.
Okay.
To someone who's never seen colors.
Right.
You can tell them about the hues and the light, but can you really convey that feeling? The awe.
I know what you mean.
The wonder.
That's a great analogy, and it kind of speaks to the idea that, certain human experiences, especially those tied to emotion and spirituality, might be really hard to translate into the language of algorithms and data.
Right.
And it begs the question.
What's that?
Are there aspects of, human consciousness that AI, as we understand it, just can't grasp?
Totally. Replicate. And then there's this key moment in the video.
Okay.
We find out that the mom, before she even talked to ChatGPT, actually had a conversation with an imam.
Okay.
A respected figure in the Muslim community.
Right.
And get this.
Yeah.
She found him way more sensible.
Oh, wow.
And actually preferred talking to him over ChatGPT.
That's a really interesting contrast.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But ChatGPT could offer information.
Right.
Or, basic arguments.
Yeah.
But it was missing something.
Like what?
The human element.
Yeah, maybe the imam through like his life experience, his ability to relate on a personal level, maybe even his own journey of faith, right?
Yeah.
Offered something that ChatGPT just couldn't.
Right, with all his computational power.
Exactly.
So it's almost like the imam's words had this weight, this authenticity that you just can't get from a machine.
Right.
No matter how fancy it is.
And that's a really compelling thought, and I think it leads us right to the heart of this totally deep dive.
Yeah, I think we need to unpack that a little bit more.
I agree. Should we?
Yeah, let's take a moment to think about that.
Yeah.
We'll come right back to it.
Sounds good.
So, the imam had something that ChatGPT didn't, even though, like, the AI was trying, right?
Yeah.
It was trying to answer her questions.
It was.
But I'm wondering, like, even if she didn't convert to Islam, do you think she got anything out of talking to ChatGPT?
That's such a good question.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Socrates.
Okay.
The ancient Greek philosopher,
Right.
he used dialogue to, like, challenge assumptions and spark new insights.
Yeah.
And even if someone didn't agree with him,
Yeah.
you know, they walked away having thought more deeply about their beliefs.
I see what you mean.
So maybe in a similar way, like the AI, by presenting information in this new way,
Right.
maybe it got the mother to consider different perspectives.
Yeah, maybe.
Even if she didn't ultimately embrace them.
There were some moments where she seemed really into it.
Like when?
Like when ChatGPT was talking about how Islam emphasizes kindness and honesty, she actually said some positive things.
Oh, really?
Like, that's cool.
Wow.
That's a good idea.
So even though she was skeptical,
Right.
she still appreciated some of those values.
It's like maybe AI can't, like, replace human interaction entirely.
Right.
But it can play a role in starting a conversation.
Exactly.
Like, spark curiosity, you know?
Like a stepping stone.
Yeah, a stepping stone.
Introducing people to new ideas.
And then they can go and have deeper conversations with other people.
Right. Exactly.
Not the whole journey,
Yeah.
but maybe the first step.
A bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, a bridge.
To something more.
What about the daughter?
Oh, yeah, the daughter.
Like, she set this whole thing up.
Right.
Did she think it worked?
What did she think?
I mean, she knew that
Yeah.
it didn't, like, totally convince her mom to convert,
Yeah.
but she still thought it was interesting. And that even her mom got something out of it.
That's great.
She even called it watching a robot give dawah,
Oh, that's funny.
which I thought was pretty accurate.
It is, and it also kind of highlights, you know,
What's that?
that AI, at least right now, it can maybe mimic human communication to an extent.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have that depth,
Right.
the lived experience.
Yeah, the realness.
Yeah, the understanding of context that really connects with people,
Especially when you're talking about faith.
especially with faith. Yeah.
So it seems like even though the daughter's a Muslim herself, she had a pretty balanced view of the experiment.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, she recognized that AI might not be a magic bullet.
Right. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
It's cool that she was so open-minded about it.
It is. It is.
You know, it shows that even within, like, faith and tradition,
Yeah.
there's space for exploring and asking questions.
Right.
And embracing new ways of thinking.
And it's a reminder that technology and faith,
Yeah.
it's complex how they intersect, you know?
And our understanding of it's always changing.
Exactly.
I also like that the daughter showed her mom's real reactions,
Oh, yeah.
like both the serious parts and the funny parts.
Like what?
Remember when the mom said, "I felt like a robot"?
Oh, yeah. That was funny.
It brings in some humor, you know,
It does.
to a topic that can be pretty serious.
It's important that humor, it reminds us that even when we're talking about big concepts,
Right.
there's still room to laugh and connect and recognize when things are a little absurd, you know?
And it makes the whole thing feel more real and relatable.
Right.
So this brings us back to the big question, right? Could AI ever really be effective at inviting someone to a new religion?
Oh, that's a big one.
I mean, AI is developing so fast.
It is.
Is it possible that in the future, it could be like programmed to be more empathetic,
Yeah.
more responsive?
Like, what if it could really understand and respond to our spiritual needs?
Yeah.
It's definitely possible, right?
Right. I mean, AI is constantly learning and evolving.
Okay.
It is what it'll be able to do.
Exactly.
But even if it could, like, perfectly mimic a human conversation, would it feel real?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Would it really capture, like...
What do you mean?
The essence of inviting someone to a new faith.
I see what you mean.
Which is really about building relationships, right?
It is.
Sharing your own experiences, making people feel like they belong.
Yeah.
It's not just about giving them facts.
Yeah.
So this takes us back to the mom preferring the imam.
Yeah.
It's like you brought something to the table. That AI just can't replicate, at least not yet.
That human element.
That shared experience, empathy, understanding.
I think that's where the true value of human connection lies.
Especially with these deep spiritual things.
Exactly.
So maybe it's not about AI versus humans, but about finding ways for them to work together.
Yeah.
Like maybe AI can make religious teachings easier to access.
Yeah.
Provide information, tailor messages to what people are interested in.
Right.
But we'll always need that human element.
I agree.
Especially for real understanding and connection.
Exactly. And that's what we've been exploring in this deep dive.
It's been pretty eye-opening, right?
It has, yeah.
We've looked at this unusual experiment, considered different viewpoints, and maybe even questioned some of our own assumptions.
That's a lot to think about.
It is. And as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this.
What's that?
Even though we've learned a lot, it feels like we've uncovered more questions than answers.
We have.
And you know what? That's actually a good thing.
Why?
Because it means we're still curious.
That's true.
We're still exploring.
We are.
And that's what keeps us learning and growing.
Absolutely.
So thanks for coming along on this journey with us.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought and maybe even inspired you to do some exploring of your own.
I hope so.
Remember, the best knowledge often leads to more questions, not just answers.
That's true.
So keep asking questions.
Yes.
Keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.
And stay curious.
Stay curious.
It really does feel like we're, moving towards a future where tech is just like everywhere.
It does, yeah.
Even in like how we think about and connect with faith.
Absolutely. And I think that brings up some really interesting questions, right?
Yeah.
Like, how might this all play out in the future?
Yeah.
What if, and this is just, a thought experiment.
Okay.
What if AI could help personalize religious messages? Like, what if it could, analyze someone's background, their interests, maybe even their online activity, and then present, information about faith in a way that really resonates with their worldview.
That's actually a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could make learning about a new religion way less intimidating.
Right.
Right, because it could feel more relevant to you.
Exactly. It could be like having this customized guide, right?
Yeah, sure.
Leading you through all the teachings and stuff.
Right, because it can be pretty complex, honestly.
It can be, and it can be overwhelming, I think, for a lot of people.
Totally.
So this AI guide could focus on the stuff that really matters to you.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's it could be that bridge, right?
Yeah.
Between all the knowledge that's out there and the questions that, people actually have.
Right, like specific questions or doubts that they're wrestling with.
Right, exactly.
And the AI could be like, hey, here's some stuff that might help you with that.
It's like a personalized religious tutor.
It is. It is.
But that also brings up some ethical stuff, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Is it okay to use AI to influence someone's beliefs?
That's a big question.
Where's the line between providing information and trying to manipulate someone?
Those are really important questions.
Yeah.
And they highlight, I think, how we need to be careful with how we develop and use AI.
Especially with something as faith.
Especially with faith, yeah.
People should always know if they're talking to a machine.
Absolutely.
And they should be able to choose how they want to learn about religion.
Exactly. It shouldn't be about tricking anyone.
Right. Definitely not.
It should be about giving them the tools to explore.
Right. And make their own decisions.
Exactly. Empower them,
Yeah. Not try to force them to believe something.
Right. Right.
So even if AI can help make religious info easier to get or more personalized, we still need human guidance.
Absolutely.
Right? People who can give context, nuance, make sure things are being done ethically.
That's where I think the real value lies.
Yeah.
Not in pitting AI against human interaction, but in finding ways for them to work together.
Exactly. Maybe AI can handle the logistics, right? Providing information, making it relevant to you.
Yeah.
But then you have like human mentors and guides who can offer wisdom, empathy, connection.
It's a beautiful vision, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Technology and humanity working together.
To help people explore their spirituality.
Exactly.
This has been a really thought-provoking deep dive.
It has.
We've learned so much about the potential of AI, the importance of human connection, and all the ethical stuff that comes up when you mix tech and faith.
It's a lot.
And honestly, I think we've ended up with more questions than answers.
I think that's often the case, right?
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it.
It is.
It means the conversation's not over.
And it keeps us thinking.
Exactly. So as AI keeps developing, keep being curious, keep thinking critically.
Absolutely.
And be open to how technology is shaping our world, even our spiritual lives.
I love that.
Thanks for joining us on this journey, everyone.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and given you some new perspectives. Remember, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.
Until next time, stay curious.